missing doing the same things. Yeah, separated myself but still in the same place. Yeah, Holy Spirit in me might been what I can't bring.
We back with another episode of the TrakWolf GodCast. I'm your man's TrakBeatz. Got my man Cheno Bliss in the building with us, holding it down. You already know how we doing it over here. You know what I'm saying? We got a special guest in the building today. You know what I'm saying? My man Shad Gill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coming in, showing some love. But before we get into bro, you know what I'm saying? We're going to shout out these brands, you know what I'm saying? We out here showing love to support, you know what I'm saying? We got the creator over here, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Make sure y'all check out, make sure y'all check out them house cuts, man.
Yeah.
Showing some love, supporting, man. Doing it all. Check out the business.
Fire. Nice
with the cuts, too. Put you in there tight with the merch.
Yeah.
Bro Fire over here got some shit for y'all, man.
777, you know what I'm saying? This is the secondary logo, the alternative, the Trip 7 logo.
Clean shit. I got another edition. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Hey, listen, holla at me, man. 777 brand underscore on Instagram. You know, webpage coming soon. We definitely, a lot of people asking about the website. If you know me, you know I'm a perfectionist and I'm all about quality, so that's why the webpage is not up yet, but it's coming, so.
Take your time,
take your time. Yeah.
Take your time.
I need it perfect.
Yeah, no, in that process. So, getting into my man's, you know what I'm saying, musical journey, let's get started over there, you know what I'm saying, because I know that kind of was like the big spark to kind of like venture you into like really pushing and prospering outside of everything else you was experiencing.
Yeah.
But like, how did you get started in the music?
Yeah, man. So it's crazy because I never even felt I had a, you know what I'm saying, an ear or a desire for music until I was probably like in the 10th grade. And I actually did it because I was writing poems, and my English teacher hit me up like, yo, you are exceptional at writing poems.
You thought you was pop.
Yeah. Like, you're exceptional at writing poems. You know what I'm saying? I never knew. You know what I'm saying? So it went from literally like, and I started, I believe everything happens for a reason. That year, my English teacher started planting that seed, and then that same year, me and a bunch of my homeboys, for whatever reason, we started doing like battle raps against each other. Yeah. Right? Like we'll write a battle rap out on somebody, like clowning them, and then we'll pass it on to everybody so you can read, or we'll rap it for them in the hallways.
Yeah.
So it was like, yo. So I started doing that, and I was like, yo, I actually like this.
Clowning people,
right?
Yeah.
So I actually like this. So what actually turned into, so I was doing those for like a year. We were just doing that for like, it was just something we did in school. And then actually 11th grade, the first time I actually wrote a rap, I was over at Damian Banks, Snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes, back in the day, many people don't know this, but Snakes, I know you'll remember this. It was Snakes and Travis Walker. They had a place over at Eagles Landing, and first time I ever went to somebody who had a microphone and a recorder set up in their crib, and they had in their extra room, and they were recording, and they let me and my homeboy Trey sat in, and the moment we saw them doing it, it was like, yo, we gotta do that. Yeah. We got it, like, that's it, cause Trey.
And Snake set that up for you?
Yeah, Snake.
Hey, shout out to Snake. He be showing mad love too.
Man, what?
He let me film the BCBA basketball game.
Yeah, man.
Monstars had won that season. You know what I'm saying? So,
listen, Snakes actually is the reason why I'm here rapping today.
Yeah.
Because like I was just doing poems and I was doing a little playing around stuff, but Snakes got me serious about it. That day I went out.
I think opportunity.
Yeah, I think that week after we went there, he actually let us record. He's like, yo, y'all write a rap. Y'all can record on the joint. So we actually got on the track. Me and Trey got on the track with him and Travis.
Yeah.
At his crib, and I was like, yo, I need this. Like that moment is sparked. The light went on for me, and I've been full speed ever since. We went and got a gateway computer. Right after that, and we was recording. Me and Trey was recording every single day at my mom's house from like 11th grade on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Until after high school, we got a place together in Route Hill, and we recorded. Anybody that knew our spot in Route Hill, we was recording every single. We would do like 5 tracks a day. You know, putting in grinds. So that was from like the age of 17. I'm 35 now. You know what I'm saying? Just grinding music.
Yeah. That's a nice long process, but your sound has changed like throughout the years.
Yeah.
So, like, What was that life experience that kind of happened that transitioned your music?
Yeah. So, like, it's crazy, right? Because, while I was doing the music thing, you know what I'm saying, I was always one of them, like, listen, I'm only rapping when I'm living. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, everything I was putting out there that was reckless and shoot 'em up, bang, bang, drug dealing, girls, whatever, I was actually doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was out here, like, and y'all, I mean, people know my rap or whatever the case may be. But 2009, I had to lay it down. You know what I'm saying? All that lifestyle I was living, you know what I'm saying, caught up to me. And I was serving an indictment. In 2009, I got incarcerated. I had to lay it down. You know what I'm saying? They gave me 3 years. I had to lay it down for 2 and 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, you know what I'm saying, when I first went in, of course before then I had some other stuff I got in trouble for, you know what I'm saying, but 30 days here, a weekend here, that was nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when they closed,
it was in prison time.
Listen, when they closed the gate on me, my nigga, and said you not getting a bond, and at that time in 2009, courts they were like pushing cases out for a year. Like the system was so backed up.
I was still locked for mine.
Right. The system was so backed up. You know how it was. The system was so backed up.
Yeah,
like,
it was a fucked up process.
It took me. Listen, I sat over ACRJ for 17 months, my guy.
Just to go up the road for a couple months.
And 14 of those months, I wasn't even sentenced, bro. I didn't get sentenced until my 14th month. I was going to court with no bond. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Struggling.
It's a dirty process.
So, but what transitioning for me, bro, is
you was doing music in there as well.
Yeah.
So,
but like, no. Let me go back. So what transitioning is, as soon as they closed those doors to me, bro, it hit me like, I can't. This ain't the lifestyle I want. Like this ain't for me, bro. Like even when I knew I was facing those drug charges, I was like, man, this ain't for me. Like I got so much more potential. I got so much more life. This ain't for me. And that night, bro, see what people didn't know is that, like, my mom, people might not know, my mom raised us in church. Yeah. Because my mom from the jump had us in church, like, I hated it. As a kid, you don't want to spend 5 nights a week in church. I'm about to say, that's all of
bro,
us. Like, you're in church from, you're in church for Sunday morning service, Sunday evening service, Sunday cleanup service, eating, Monday Bible study, Tuesday choir practice, Wednesday Bible study.
It's a lot.
Don't let it be a revival.
Yeah, you did. All night.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we were raised. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the moment I got locked up, bro, for the indictments, like the second night I was there, bro, it hit me like, yo, I can't live like this. And that night, bro, I remember I was in J&D. I was, you know what I'm saying, I was waiting to be sent into population. Yeah. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I sat right there, I was like, listen, God. It wasn't even no God, like, get me out of this. It was, I'm gonna be real with you, it was like, God, I can't live like this no more, bro.
JD is not like R&D.
Nah.
It is not the same thing.
Nah, man. So. I was like, God, I can't live like this.
And then what JD is, they just bring motherfuckers in there in the middle of the night when you sleep. It don't even matter what time it is. So you definitely
one
not
shower,
getting no sleeping.
One shower, one pair of shower shoes, no commissary, all trays,
one phone.
What in a bunch of funky dudes. Yeah. Half of them don't want to take a shower. They want to sleep it away because they're there for weekends. You actually waiting to go into population. Like, bro, I sat right there that night, bro. I prayed, and that night I gave my life to God, bro. I was like, listen, I can't do this no more, or whatever. And like, I went full speed Christian after that, bro. Like, I mean, like, all my vices, I was like, I'm not doing that no more. I cut everything off, bro. Like, anybody who was locked up with me for those 2 years, no. And like, even when I went down the road, bro, I joined like a men's choir. Like, I had to do.
You was really out the way.
Yeah, like even like I think 6 months into my bid, bro, a program was created. Program was created to do music, and I was one of the first people selected for that program. And it actually got publicity outside of the jail where it was on the front page of the Daily Progress, and I was on the front page of the Daily Progress called Music Behind Bars. I got the newspaper article. You might get the newspaper article on this video. I'm gonna send it to my man. He can plug it in.
Yeah.
But like there's a picture of me on the front page of the article, like called Music Behind Bars. It was me and a couple of dudes that I was doing music with in there, like we created an album in there. You know what I'm saying? I wrote most of the album and produced most of the album. You know what I'm saying? But like I was doing it because what happened was once I gave my life to Christ, bro, the biggest thing that, and this is to your question, the biggest thing that was a challenge for me was my love for music. I was like, okay, well I love God now, and I'm trying to do right by Him. What am I gonna do with music? Yeah. Like all the music I've ever known was shoot 'em up, hit 'em up, like all that stuff. So I was like, what am I gonna do with music? And then like one night, I think for a while, for a couple months while I was locked up, I didn't write nothing.
Yeah.
Until it came, like I was like, you know what? I really had a moment. I was like, listen, you do exactly what you're supposed to do in music. Just do it for me. And I was like, okay, let me see what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So that's where when I came home, a couple of my first mixtapes I dropped. My first mixtape was Out of the Box. The second one was SOD. And both of those mixtapes, a lot of those songs I wrote while incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? I found beats matching up with the stuff I wrote. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that was transition my music. And so that brought me to, you know what I'm saying, where I'm making more faith-based Christian
music
content.
Yeah. Okay. So
like that moment when you decided to give yourself to Christ, God, I'm not really sure. I've never done it. I'm not really sure how to classify it. Like, what did it do to your mind? Like, were you spiritual before that?
Yes.
Like,
no. So that's a good question, bro. So like, the moment that night, I remember like yesterday, bro. It is the most impactful transitional part of my life. When I gave my life to Christ that night, I woke up for real. I'm not gonna be capping. I woke up feeling like I was the most spiritual person in the world, bro. Like, I didn't read a Bible, I didn't do nothing, but it was just this idea of like, now I get to start fresh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think that day when the COs came out, I demanded that the COs tell the chaplain to come see me. I need a Bible. I need material now. I need to start investing into what I'm believing in, right? You can ask John B. You can ask Light, Lonnie Cooper. You can ask, anybody that was locked up with Big Man, anybody that was locked up with, they'll tell you like, Shad was serious about that Bible. Because like every night, these the same dudes was asking me like, write that song about God, Like, I was writing so much material. Like, I was getting dudes who weren't Christian dudes, all street dudes who like, let me hear that song. Like, calling the songs up by name that I was writing. Let me hear that song. And I was just, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I was like, I'm doing exactly, that was the most purest form of my art, right? Because I was ministering directly to the type of dudes who were just like me, who knew me before my transition. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what brings things back around full circle, because like in that moment, my mind, when I decided that I'm gonna do this, my mind immediately, like, I felt like a light bulb went on. It's like everything I was so dead to or asleep to, I started applying myself to. Like, I wasn't a reader. I wasn't fond of education, bro. I barely passed high school. Yeah. Like, to keep it a buck, like I passed high school with all D's and F's. Mm-hmm. And like, bro, when they listen, 2004 graduation of Monticello, when they came with my little black joint that I was supposed to hold up to take a picture for my for my diploma, I looked inside of it and it was empty right there. And I thought they got me. I thought they was telling me, oopsie daisy.
They ain't put your shit in there. You gotta go back and get it.
I go back and get it, right? So I didn't know, but I didn't know, bro. That's how
I didn't go through that process.
Listen, that's how I thought.
So he barely made it. I went through summer school to get my shit.
I went through summer school to get mine.
I barely made it, bro. And I thought they was telling me, I thought they was like, we gotta take a picture. But you gotta go to summer school. I wouldn't got my diploma, but but when I opened that thing up, I closed it immediately. I don't want nobody around me to see that my diploma got in there.
They forgot my shit.
Your boy. I was like,
Yeah. I said, yeah, so I didn't make it. I'm gonna walk across the stage like I did.
Yeah, let me get to the car first.
Facts. But no, I got my diploma, but like that's how by the skin of my teeth I made it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I transitioned, bro, I started filling my mind with nothing but reading. Like I read everything they could give me. Everything. And that's where my love for reading came from. And but to answer your question, like that feeling, there was a feeling associated with it, but that feeling led to a lot of actions on my part. You know what I'm saying? It was like this awakening, but now I realized I had to do some work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had to unlearn a lot of this stuff that I was learning on the streets. I was learning with women. I had to unlearn a lot of that stuff, bro, that I'm still unlearning at 35.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? That was back at 20.
But that was a lot of years of us being
25.
programmed in one direction. So
yeah.
But the good thing is that you caught it and you was ready to, you know what I'm saying, to like take action on it right away.
So like, and when you mention reading is something that helps me with my personal development, my mind, and my music. Like, when you started reading, did you notice any difference in
my vocabulary changed,
Yeah.
my content changed, my mindfulness changed, like how mindful I was of who could possibly hear my music. Like I started being mindful about never mindful. Like I'm gonna be real, when I was out in the street, bro, I would blow around my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be in a car, or I would drop my daughter at home like 1 or 2. I'll pick her up and I'm blowing in the car, not even mindful. Or my baby around me and I'm creating content. I'm talking about fucking bitches and all this stuff and crazy in my music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hold up. Now when I was, you know what I'm saying, after my transition, I was like, hold up. I wanna have stuff that my daughter can listen to where I don't have to censor it.
Yeah.
Right? I wanna put her in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, people are not gonna question, is she in a safe environment, because I know how her out here smelling like alcohol and weed because I'm just blowing and drinking around her 24/7. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that started changing for me, bro. And I started being more mindful of others who are associated to me. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Even the female I was dealing with at the time isn't my wife, but the female I was dealing with at the time, she was really active in my transition. You know what I'm saying? Of getting more God-minded, because you know what I'm saying? Because I was at that point in time when I got locked up, she just found out I cheated on her with like 2 different girls. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get her back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to prove stuff to her. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time, she's calling me to accountability for a lot of stuff I'm never accountable for as a man, bro. Mm-hmm. Like she's coming to see me on visits, and we're breaking down what happened in this situation with this shorty. Yeah. Like stuff I never had, bro. In the streets, that's dead. Yeah. Man.
It's hard to do too, man.
You gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I cheated. You gone. Okay, whatever. Next girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm starting to have to face stuff, and now me and my learning and reading, and the material I was reading was vast material. It wasn't just Christian material, but it was a lot of stuff about self-development though. Yeah, a lot of it was self-development stuff.
And even some of the mindless reading was good as well. Just the entertainment reading, because you still are working your inner spirit to like visualize.
Man, shout out to John B. John B kept the books. We had all the books. Listen, we only got to talk about the books we had. We had all the books. So we passed them books around. So, for real. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of books said to my name for John B. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, what I'm saying is like, just all the reading, bro, started changing the way I started viewing things, bro, and opened up my mind to a world that I was ignorant to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was willfully ignorant to. Like I had opportunities to read. I didn't see it valuable.
But when you do, reading subconsciously works with your inner spirit. It forces you to use your imagination.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. But on that note, we're gonna go to this break and then we're gonna swing right back to y'all.
Yeah.
This that savage shit.
So we back from the break, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna kind of just continue our subjects that we had going on, you know what I'm saying, as far as like bro transitioning from, you know what I'm saying, one place to another place.
Yeah.
Didn't matter what physical location, but his spiritual growth, you know what I'm saying? So like once you got out of that space in that place, you know what I'm saying, and now you at your new inner space, and now you outside in a new place. What was you doing, like, what was it that made you re-transition again from taking such a big step? Because you was, like, going, like, you was full on in the churches, you know what I'm saying? Like, you was the face, basically.
Yeah.
You was becoming the poster child.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm glad you brought that up. So, like, what people don't know, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some people know, you know, but, the transition for me happened back in 2016, bro. So 2016 April 2016 was a really big year from like my family. So 2016, I'm 2 years married, you know what I'm saying? Got some custody of my daughter. Still not working the type of jobs I want to work, you know what I'm saying? Doing music. I probably dropped like 3 mixtapes by then. Get ready to just dropped my first debut album. And in that debut album, bro, people don't understand, 777 was like a cry for help. Mm-hmm. Like, the debut album, if you listen to a lot of songs, I put that song in there called Calm Man, the intro song, a lot of songs in there was like a cry for help because, like, I was dealing with a lot of, like, lust issues. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
temptation.
Fleshly issues.
Temptation.
What? Bro, I'm married, bro. I'm now a man of trying to establish myself as a man of integrity.
How did you propose to your wife?
So, you know this already, but I approached my wife on stage in front of like 10,000 people at a Lecrae concert. Lecrae is one of the biggest Christian hip hop artists ever. Mm-hmm. We're at Liberty. Somehow my manager at the time was able to get with Lecrae's manager, and we did this whole full-on proposal, which was on
that
YouTube.
Shit was crazy.
Yeah, they probably clipped this on this, but it's on YouTube. But we did a whole like proposal thing that's on there. We got to meet Lecrae, you know, chop it up with him and everything. And but like I'm 2 years into my marriage, bro, and anybody who's married realized that once you got that honeymoon phase, I never lived with a female. Mm-hmm. Never in my life lived with a female, right?
This is your first time.
This is my first time living with a female. Living with a female, living with a really religious female, right? Mm-hmm. Who, and she'll tell you, she was very protected in the way she lived. Like her parents did a really good job of keeping her from a lot of stuff that she shouldn't have been a part of. Mm-hmm. But she was so green. She was still a lot of green. She was raised in the church as well. Raised in the church. And I'm out here trying to operate as an artist, and I'm trying to provide. Yeah. And I found myself in situations, bro, where I ended up stepping out on my wife multiple times. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And she had some feelings about that. She could feel it, that I was out here not being faithful or whatever, but she never could catch me. And it just got to the point where I couldn't live with it no more, bro. In April of 2016, I came out to my wife, was like, listen, this is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing with. And it wasn't just one time, you know what I'm saying, with multiple females, you know what I'm saying? And that's nothing that I pride myself in, but that speaks a lot to... You should pride yourself in having the strength to do that, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I do pride myself in that, but I also pride myself in the fact that, you know, when I came out about that, bro, I was okay with... And even though my emotions didn't show it, and my wife would tell me, like, I was not trying to let her go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I was okay with the result. Like, I can't live with this. She deserves better than what I've been giving her. I deserve better than the shit that I'm doing. And that's what it is.
Yeah. So, like, as someone, I've done that before. So, mm-hmm. like, for some people who may have never done that or may... What did you do? I went to someone and I told them I thought they deserved better. I don't want them to figure out something from the streets before they figure it out from me, because I wouldn't want that to happen, and they deserve better. Mm-hmm. And I'm a better person than that. Yeah. So, like, could you give some transparency as to how that process was for you? Like, you know, with like working up the nerve to do it.
Listen, man.
You know,
even before I told her I entrusted a couple people that we were at church with, like a couple weeks before. Like, listen, I'm about to tell my wife some crazy stuff, and I need y'all to be there for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I try to set up as much as of a
support
canopy,
system.
a support system for her as possible. You know, and to be completely honest, when I told her initially, she was broken, but she was gonna, like, for the first 24 hours, her mind was like, I'm gonna stay and work it out.
Yeah.
But as she started getting more detailed, I started giving her more information because she deserved it of what was going on. She left, bro. She went back to her parents' crib for 6 months. For 6 months, I had no idea. Like, all I knew was we get a divorce. We're done. I fucked up. It is what it is. Now it is what it is because I wasn't settled with it. But this is what it is.
She
like,
gone at that time.
She gone.
Like, yeah.
She wasn't hearing me talk about, like, bro, she had me blocked on every account. She had me blocked on her phone. Like, I was the last thing she trying to hear from.
You was pulling up to the house?
I put up to her parents' house, bro, on some stupid stuff one night.
I was about to say, what did that do?
That's a wife, yo.
What did that
do?
Like, what did, like, as you made the choice, like, all right, I'm about to go tell. What is your nerves like? What is your mind like? You know what I mean?
Listen,
that
was the most unstable. Listen, one of the dudes that, you know, that was involved, I was dealing with his female. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to have a fight the one night, bro. And my nerves were all over the place, bro. I was there one moment trying to fight him because I was pissed because he did some foul stuff. And I was trying to fight him. I told him to meet me at this part. And in a split second, I was across town trying to get to my wife. Because she hit me up randomly out of nowhere because I have no access to her. And I'm like, man, I'm not trying to fight today. I'm trying to get to my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was that. Cause Chris know me. I was never the one trying to duck a fight.
Yeah.
Like, anytime, I was always about that action.
Yeah.
So, like, I was just all over the place, man. I was so all over the place, bro. And because I was making a lot of decisions that did not benefit me, the person I've become, I was stuck in between the person I've become and the person I'm trying to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that place of insecurity and immaturity, I made a lot of impulsive decisions, bro, that could have cost me, that in that moment in 2016 cost me more than I was willing to give.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting for custody of my daughter at that time, bro. She don't have no stability now. She don't have no stability. You know what I'm saying? You got a father and a stepmom who's now separated after 2 years of their marriage, who it was evident we were getting a divorce. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying, 6 months down the road, after a lot of conversations and whatever, you know, so we chose to give our marriage a second shot. You know, and you know we're still in the process of that. You know, we do still do a lot of counseling and a lot of, you know what I'm saying, we have a lot of talks and there's a lot of growing that still needs to be had in our relationship. You know what I'm saying, and so I'm up for the challenge.
How do you work on the communication as far as going through that kind of process, or just even like communicating with your wife? Because I know a lot of people have a difficult time like communicating. So like, people say they know how to communicate and talk, but they don't know really how to utilize their words, when, how, what, like, or sometimes don't even know when, like, to
just be quiet.
Silence sometimes too. So like,
So,
what kind of tools do y'all use to help y'all in y'all communication process?
Man, I can't express. And this is, I would say, for the Black community, this is something that we have not been taught, and or it's had a huge like undertone to it, like a negative undertone to it, and that is counseling. Yeah. Like, we do not. I feel like as a community, as a Black community, maybe more so now, in the age we're in, the generation we're in now, but we weren't brought up on like, listen, you should have a counselor, you should talk to somebody. Yeah. Right? We deal with so much trauma, bro. Yeah. So much trauma from the things we've been through our life, from trauma that's passed down through our bloodlines. Yes. That's unaddressed trauma. Family trauma that was unaddressed. That's deposited into us, and we don't know how to deal with it. We don't know how to articulate our words. We don't know how to get it out. We don't trust nobody to tell it to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have the proper representation in the medical field where we can identify someone we can trust it to. right? There's not about how many black
we had a discussion
counselors,
about this, like how,
therapists that we see in our community.
Or at least that you can trust to
That
get
you can
accurate
trust.
information from. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when it came down to a communication, my communication solely came from my personal studies and my counselor. My counselor, man, my counselor taught me so much about communication, right? I feel like I've always been an open book. But, like, he's shown me ways to even go deeper into, like, over-communicating myself. Yeah. Right? I feel like right now, I try to over-communicate. You know, even when I'm late to here, I'm not gonna show up late. I'm gonna text you like, bro, I'm late. I might be 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That shit wasn't even late.
I know, but it's CP time.
What you thought was late wasn't late.
It's CP time.
You still pulled up behind.
But I'm still
I'm late. I'm a half hour behind.
I'm still trying to over communicate, right?
Yeah.
Because I realized that communication has to be one of the foundational pieces to any relationship. Bro.
Yeah. Transparency.
Without communication, without transparency, without being real, you can't build a solid relationship with nobody like that, bro.
It won't be solid.
It won't be solid.
Yeah.
It'll be shaky.
You could build it, but it
so
won't be
I had to learn how to be transparent and be honest. I was a liar. I was a habitual liar, bro.
Yeah.
Habitual, flagrant liar. I would just offer lies.
Yeah. Didn't even know why.
Just because I didn't. Just because because I was a people's person, right? I never want to let people down. Yeah. So I will lie and be dishonest so I don't make you feel bad. Oh, bro, something happened where I really want to be there. I'm offering lies the whole time. I made an error, but I care enough about you. I don't want to tell you something that's gonna make you feel like I don't value you. Right, so I'm just offering lies, right? So I had to learn how to stop lying. I had to learn how to tap into the real of what I was doing and why I was doing it, and then share that to my wife. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was super hard. That was super hard for both of us. You know what I'm saying? It was super hard for everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? In that whole situation, one thing that I learned is that without communication, without properly expressing yourself and expressing your expectations, so many things can go astray. Like, so many things can go off of the meter that you didn't expect if you don't properly communicate. Right? So,
do you feel like you can express yourself without boundaries? Or you have to have boundaries when you...
In my relationship or in general?
In general. I don't want to dig too much in the relationship, but in general, as far as...
In general, I feel like you have to be mindful of the individuals around you and the community and the society. Yeah. Right? I just can't go off my impulses when I feel something that makes me impulsive and just go and go there. Right? So I have to be mindful. Exactly. So I don't think anything is without boundaries. Everything deserves boundaries. Like, you have to have proper boundaries and disciplines where, like, I won't cross this. Right? Because I care enough about you. I won't disrespect you by hollering at your girl. Yeah. I won't disrespect you by talking about stuff that make you uncomfortable as a man. I won't disrespect you by coming to your personal space where you didn't invite me in it. So everything has boundaries, right? So, but in those boundaries, I found a freedom where I can genuinely be myself, right? One that comes from initially knowing, especially where I believe that I'm okay with God. Right? That nothing I do or nothing that I will do will ever make me not okay with God. I'm permanently okay with God. Right? So there's a freedom in that because I'm like, you know what? He gives me grace. We call it grace, but he gives me grace for my failures. He knows I'm gonna fail. He knows I'm gonna mess up. He knows I'm gonna make some bad decisions. But he can forgive me and I can get that thing right. Right? As long as I'm breathing, I can get that thing right. So that's why I kind of operate out of this grace area, because without grace, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing but judgment and contempt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But you have to at least experience life to be able to get to that perception. You know what I'm saying? So
how do you like, if you do fall short, whatever you perceive to be falling short, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. So how I deal with it, one, I feel like I put it on like a internal measuring tool, right? Yeah. I measure it to where I'm trying to go in life, right? Let's say my hang-up right now is cursing, which is actually my hang-up right now, right? I'm like, I want to stop cursing as much as I curse right now.
Yes.
Right? I'm super honest. Like anybody knows now, I'm super honest and super transparent.
Yeah.
And in this podcast, I've cursed a couple times, right? But it's like, I'm like, that's what I'm trying to work on, right?
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, but it's like, that's what I'm trying to work on. So what I do is I measure it to where I am in life. I weigh it to, does this serve me? Right? It's not about this right with God, right? Because I know, again, I say, I'm always right with God, right?
Exactly.
From what I believe and what Christ has done for me on the cross, I'm permanently, eternally right with God, right? It's all about maturing now, right? So I got to get myself out of an immature place. So my thing is, I weigh it to, does it serve me as the man that I am now right now? Does cursing, does my daughter hear me curse? My daughter's hearing me curse, does that serve me? Does my wife hearing me curse, does that serve me? Does people around me hear me curse, does that serve me? Am I operating on a higher frequency when I curse?
And when you say serve you, what is that to you?
Serve me, when I say does it serve me, does it work with my life that I'm trying to create right now?
Okay.
The person I'm trying to be, does this add to it or does it take away?
See, I get that. See, when I got to that place, you know what I'm saying, I got my daughter, she about to be 5 next week, you know what I'm saying? But like, as far as me and like using words, we all know that it's the intentions behind the words.
Yeah.
And I don't know who told me just these 5 or 6 words are cursed. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like all words can be cursed. Yeah, facts. Words that aren't profane can be cursed, bro. Yeah. So right? It's all in the intentions behind them. So that's some things that I try to be mindful of when I'm talking and when I use them, because I know that's part of my language. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just me. Listen, my daughter be the first one to tell you when my dad mad, he'll cuss me. He'll cuss at me, or he use cuss words when he's trying to explain stuff to me, right? And I always double back to her like, listen, some of the words I use I shouldn't have used. You know what I'm saying? I was upset in the moment. I allowed the moment and my emotions to cause me to speak to you in a way that you didn't deserve. Yes. You know. And I won't curse I've never cursed my daughter out. Yeah, of course. In the frustration, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. But mine's be more so on the game I be playing. She might have me be like, oh shit. Right. But she like, daddy. But the fact that I meant it like a O or a ow. It's the same intentions behind it, but my language is a little different. But the fact that you're mindful of it is a place of gratefulness, and we can celebrate, because a lot of us aren't mindful that we have these little humans under us that sponge up everything we do, say, act, everything, right? And if I want, and I can't only tell my daughter how to live. I have to show her how to live. Yeah. Right. So I'm trying to show my daughters how to live. I'm trying to show my daughters, you can still have your job and chase your dreams. Yeah. I'm trying to show my daughters that, so you can have the man that you marry might not be perfect, but it might be perfect for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to show my daughters these things.
And the transparency with the, letting your natural reactions go teaches a lot too. Yeah. Because they know, like, I am this person, but it's okay if I may fall short or don't always live up to the stereotypical expectation.
That's perfect. You say your natural reactions. My natural inclination is to curse. My natural inclination, when something happens where we feel offended, our natural inclination is to get angry and to be impulsive in that situation, right? You have to go against your natural inclination to do the thing you actually is most productive, right? I think it depends on if we feel like that person is on a higher frequency than us, because some people will be operating on a lower frequency, and we be like, but let's be honest. Stupid ass somebody, right? I ain't about to lower my vibration, right? But let's be honest. In that moment, how conscious are we?
Yeah,
I'm at that space that I'm pretty aware.
You are?
But a lot of us aren't.
And that's the place for me that I'm trying to get to, right?
And that's what it comes with a lot of practice of just being self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Constantly being self-aware and like mindful of every situation. So as soon as something's happening, you start being mindful of it and understand that you're experiencing it.
Every situation that you encounter in life, to be absolute in your mindfulness in those situations is a place that I reach to acquire. You know, that's the journey that I'm on, to be like, everything that I'm going into, I can already have it prepared and stay in tune to my true desires and who I am, to respond in a way that's authentic to who I am.
But the thing that we also got to remember is, like, we are humans in one form, and then we are something else, whatever you want to call it. You know, we just use the term energy here. You know what I'm saying? But like, we operating in two fields, you know what I'm saying? So
operating in the physical and the spiritual, however you look at that, right? The known and the unknown, the visible and the invisible.
Physical,
right?
Metaphysical.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. So in that, right, I think the common ground is, for me, a lot. Listen, I have Muslim brothers. I have brothers who believe in the universe. I have brothers who believe in astrology. I have brothers who believe in everything. You know what I'm saying? And I call them my brothers. You know what I'm saying? And I think the middle ground that we can all meet on, the silver lining of it is, what is morality? Right? If all this means nothing, then what's the reason to be kind, to be loving, to be patient, to be respectful, to be honorable?
And what I was saying to correlate with what you're saying was, we all have these emotions to experience, and we have a choice whether we want to experience that emotion or not. And if you choose to experience that emotion, just understand you're experiencing it, you know what I'm saying, and just embrace it with control, you know what I'm saying? Like, people say, like, oh, you shouldn't get angry, but it's an emotion that you're going to experience. So I'm not just going to keep tucking it away. Nah, I'll figure out, since I'm not like, I don't want to get physical first anymore, then I figure out how to correlate my words. If I feel like it's too loud, then I figure out how to use stronger words. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I understand I'm experiencing that emotion. And I'm acknowledging it. You're not going to tell me to settle it or put it away. I'm going to express this emotion the same way you're going to let me express being happy.
Right. And something else, a technique I use is, and I got this from the book The Power, and now I referenced this a couple times, is anytime I'm dealing with anybody, I look at them as if they are myself. And when they do something, I'd be like, would I do that? And I'd be like, okay, I can't say nothing. Then if I wouldn't do that, I'd be like, well, why they do that? Because then I'm looking at them as if they're me. So I'm like, well, and if I can't understand, then that's when I might let it unleash. If we can't get a dialogue or understanding, I'm just like, this obviously makes no sense. You know what I mean?
And that's powerful, right? Because I haven't read that book, but I'm going to get that book. But one thing that I've been practicing, bro, is, and I think we've talked before we start filming, I try to look at everybody. I put myself in everybody's shoes to understand why they might make the decisions they're making, why they're making. And what the burden of that is because I'm now responsible for whatever actions I take, because I'm trying to understand you, right? So I hold myself at a higher standard, because if I'm trying to understand why you responded to me this way, whether it's negative or positive, let's say negative. A person responded to me in a negative way, and I'm trying to understand, the person probably busy, they probably beefing with their wife. I put myself in your shoes and understand and show empathy and sympathy to you, and I still respond in a negative way, I'm holding myself at a higher standard then, right? Because
So I feel like that's when we have to be mindful of the words being used. Because some people would take overstanding as being above somebody, and and then I'm just saying, but we could also say understand. You know what I'm saying? So that's really like the feeling. Like, I had a situation with my daughter. It wasn't a huge situation. I was just outside the door. She was inside. She wanted to follow daddy. I told her, not right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I was trying to talk on the phone, and she was just following me, playing everywhere. I just wanted to get the phone call out the way real quick, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to step outside, and she wanted to follow me real quick, and I was just like, no, chill. But I didn't use no words, but my energy behind it. You know, I didn't yell it or scream it, but she could feel my energy behind it. You know what I'm saying? And when I got done doing what I was doing, I had to come back in and talk to her because she was in the room sad. So I was just like, you know, that feeling that you felt. Well, before I said that, I said, did Daddy say something mean? She was like, no. I said, was it how I said it? She was like, kind of like, yeah, not really knowing what words to use. And I was like, was it a feeling? Did you feel it? You could just tell that Daddy, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I was a little frustrated, you know what I'm saying? But that feeling that you felt was real, you know what I'm saying? And I don't ever want you to ignore that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And as well, to add to that, like, when...
Yeah, but I always want. I just wanted to tell her to like understand that feeling. So if Daddy not around and you experience it, just know that it's real and you not crazy and you don't have to like question yourself as much. You can question the situation, but just don't ignore that.
But to your point, right? A lot of communication. I think actual words is like 10% of communication, right? Body language and tone makes up the majority of communication, right? So our body language and tone can...
And then your intentions behind the body language. Because you could smile with no sound, but your intentions behind that smile could be evil.
You could ask me a question like, Shad, you wanna cook tonight? I'm like, yeah. What I'm saying to you is no. I'm saying to you, hell no, I don't want to cook.
But you use your energy.
But I said but you didn't hear my You saw my body language, you heard my tone. My tone and my body language spoke way louder to you than my just now.
The context of what you were doing.
So we had to, so that's what I'm saying, communication, right? Communication, not just your words, it's your body language, your tone, and your words, right? So even if, and I'm at a point right now with my wife, and I'm just being transparent, if we're ever beefing, I'll tell my wife straight up, like, listen, if I'm not in a good place where I can be receptive, I'm in a good place where I can hear her, and I'm only focused on getting my point across. I'm like, yo, let's table this, and we'll come back to this when we're not in the heated place. Right? And that's what we learn from counseling, yo. And that's why counseling and therapy is so crucial to having, for black people. You know what I'm saying? I think we're the most underserved in that area, right?
Bet. So with that being said, we're going to take this break and we're going to get into that subject right when we come back.
This that savage shit.
So we back from the break, you know what I'm saying? So now we about to get into our last subject. We was just talking about, which was the counseling, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let bro go ahead and dip back into his subject as far as like how crucial counseling can be. So to me, I feel like counseling, you know, with my experience over the last 4 years with counseling, we haven't seen them as much because of COVID, but very involved in counseling, and it's told me so many tools that I did not think was valuable before counseling, right? Like people talking about, oh, you want to do premarital counseling, you want to do marital counseling or whatever, or just individual counseling, and I never saw the benefit of it. Like nobody in the hood or nobody that was around that I looked up to ever talked about counseling, so it didn't benefit me. I didn't think it benefited me, right? So when I got into counseling, and the way my counselor would break down my patterns, or the way my counselor would break down how I communicate, or my lack of understanding of what my wife is trying to communicate, like hearing past the words, hearing the heart, hearing the intentions, right? Because sometimes the words don't do the heart and the intentions justice, right? So hearing past those things, what is your wife really trying to communicate to you? What is this person really trying to communicate to you? It has shown me a deeper and a higher level of understanding and communication that I would never learn just genuinely or organically in the streets or just reading a book. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when it comes to counseling or when it comes to communication, speaking on how, you know what I'm saying, 10% of it is verbal, what you actually say. A big bulk of that is your body language and your tone. Right? So we can start addressing those things. And people are like, oh, what did I say? Why is that just fitting out because I said this? Maybe because of how you said it to them.
or how you said it to her. Did she feel respected in the tone that you use?
Mm-hmm.
Right? My wife tell me all the time, like, bro, you talking too loud. I have to be mindful. Like, she feels disrespected when my tone raises.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to dumb my tone down if I want her to properly understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to make some adjustments. A lot of times we don't want to make adjustments. We want people to hear us. We want to get our point across. We want to make you see that you're wrong and I'm right.
Yeah.
Right? But when we're right, we both lose. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm right, she lose.
Yeah.
And if she's a part of me, then we lose. If she's right, then I lose. And if I'm a part of her, then we lose.
Yeah.
But if there's compromise, we both can understand one another, then we can find a middle ground of where we can operate.
So I have a question, because I went through, and I call it therapy. Some people call it counseling, therapy. They're all different words for the same type of process. So I went through individual therapy for about 3 years. And something that I still deal with is when I am being mindful of these things with people and they aren't being mindful of it with me. And they still, while not being mindful of it, bring it up how I'm not being mindful. You know what I mean? Like, how do you deal with things like that, you know, while still maintaining your character and the things that you've developed?
Listen, man, one of the hardest things to swallow is our pride. Right?
Ego.
Pride and ego has destroyed governments, nations, for as long as the world has been around because of man's pride. Friendships, right?
Everything.
So the one thing you have to do in those moments, bro, is put your pride aside. I've learned as being a married man and a now faithful married man is that when I put my pride aside, it's less about me and more about them, right? It's less about how you make me feel and more about how I can make you feel, right? So it's a sacrifice, right? Sacrifice in marriage is about sacrifice and service.
Yes.
When I do something, my intentions isn't for that you can see that and then return it. Yes, that is something that you should want, and that's something that marriage should or a relationship should give, is the reciprocity. Is where if the energy I put out, I want to receive, right?
Yes.
And hopefully we can develop into humans where we can articulate that to one another. Like, listen, this is how I operate. If I do something, I expect it in return or whatever. But when that's not happening, bro, you have to be determined to continue to do that thing, even if you don't receive the benefits of it.
I think when it gets to that place, it's a line drawn. So, like, everything is on a scale. So
it is.
If 60% I'm putting out shit and not looking for nothing in return, and 40% I'm looking for something in return, motherfucker, I want some energy in return.
Yeah.
Simple process. Like, it's everything is on a scale. So, yeah, that don't have to be that percentage of the scale. That was just an example. You know what I'm saying?
No, in the reference of relationships.
Like, because it can't just be fuck me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a genuine person, if I want to give something, I will. But it's going to be certain instances in life where I do want that energy in return. You know what I'm saying?
But we also know that there's relationships in our life that we have that we don't get that.
Yes.
Right? I can think of family relationships that I don't get that. Wherever I put energy into it, I get nothing in return.
Yes.
Right? And you have to also assess the relationship if it's worthy of your energy.
Yeah.
Right? If it's worthy of you investing so much into it when you're not getting anything in return.
Yeah.
To me, I'm in a covenant relationship. So I'm in a relationship where it's to death do us part. So I can't, the way I believe, there is no other options outside of me being married to my wife. Like, even if she's not, or even if, in regards to her, even if I'm not operating in a way that's receptive to the way she's trying to show me love and show me service and respect me, she's still going to do that. And she's showing she's still going to do that no matter how I respond. Right? Yeah. Now, my act, if I really love this person and I'm mindful of this person, like, dang, my wife is really giving her all. The least I can do, or the most I can do, is to give some of that energy back to her. Then that's what you want, right? My energy created energy for you to give back into me. Your energy created energy for me to give back into you. right? So it's supposed to be recycled. It's supposed to be. That's the intention. But when it's not, that's the question. When it's not given back into you, how do you manage that? And in my covenant relationship, I manage that as if, listen, even if she's not receiving the energy I'm giving to her, God sees what I'm doing. Right? God sees that I'm trying to make this thing right. Yeah. God sees that I'm depositing all I have into my marriage. The universe is going to
bring that energy.
He sees it, right? So no matter what, my energy and the deposits and the investments I'm making, someone is watching and appreciative of that, and they're giving me more to give into that.
Yeah,
right?
But it also could be signs of showing you that, it could be like it's constantly putting your attention on it for a reason. So if it's constantly putting your attention on it, then you also have to be mindful of the other options as well. You know what I'm saying? And I completely agree with that. All about options, I maneuver that way outside of my covenant. Right? The way I believe, I don't hold my wife to that standard. But in my social relationships, in my friend relationships, I'm that way completely. Like if I'm always going reaching out to my homeboys, and then I'm reaching back, and then they're trying to, then they might be too busy. I need to reassess that relationship. You know what I'm saying? But within my covenant, I don't look at it that way. And that's also contextual, right? In context of the relationship, right? The way I believe, I don't move in my marriage like that, but I do move like that with the other relationships.
And one of the hardest things to be aware of while managing yourself, managing your outside life, whatever you got going on, is what this other person may have going on, and also actualizing that they probably don't process it the same way you do. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, like, I'm at the place now where it's enough technology where we should all be knowing and learning and growing. So if you really want to make some shit work, then you're going to put all that time and energy into it. That's just going to be the process. So it ain't going to be no questions about the rest of it. So
I feel like that's fair to an extent, right? Because one, some people just don't mature at the rate that we mature. Like we've gone through some things that's caused us to mature faster than other people. Some person who has been catered their whole life, who have been protected their whole life, who hasn't really gone through anything, who's green to the world, it's gonna take them longer to mature in ways that we've had to mature. We're just being out here.
Well, it's different because I can go to YouTube and do. I'm working. I can go to YouTube and do all of that. You know what I'm saying, and find therapists and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying, like. It's no other way around it. I didn't have the money to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have the money to pay for counseling.
It was free for me.
And some people willing to go and put the work in to actually go to the physical place. But if you don't, I took the steps of doing therapy myself in my house. You know what I'm saying? So I did that with me. It's counselors that put their shit up online. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all kind of things in different ways and treatments that you can find to help you. So I'm just saying, like, but on that note, we're gonna get ready to wind this thing down, you know what I'm saying? So let the people know where they can find you at.
Yeah, man, you can find me at on Instagram at I am Shad Gill. If you're interested in any of my merch, Trip 777 brand, you'll find us at 7SVN, the number 7, then the VII brand _, on Instagram, and then I'm also on Facebook at Shad Gill, Gilliam on Facebook. You know, the website is definitely coming soon, but we definitely want to hear from you. Let us know how you feel about the GodCast, and you know what I'm saying, about the brand, and definitely looking forward to doing this again, man. This is a great feeling.
Yeah. Make sure y'all tune in, man. Support the brand, man. Yes, support the brand. We got Creator right here.
Creator right here too, my boy for cuts.
Yeah, the merch and the cuts, man. Everything gonna be down below, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, man. I'm TrakBeatz. We got Cheno in the building. TrakWolf GodCast, man. We signing out.
Let's talk to the people. We were having like such a good conversation, right? Right, Booba?
Gotta keep pacing this road, through the ups and then down like a coaster. Feeling my heart turning cold, just know that my past even colder. Promise I'm never gon' fold, got all of this weight on my shoulder. Yahweh say stick to the code, pray, taking the wheel like a chauffeur. Never coming in last, been padding my stats, so working when nobody noticed me. Not chasing they fast, and giving the pass, cause nothing I had no was giving me. I'm up and they mad, they throwing their jabs, I'm bobbing like nobody touching me. I'm up and they mad, they throwing their jabs, I'm bobbing like nobody touching me. Promise I'm breaking the mold, don't know what they're taking me for. They got but they grinding, been moving in silence, I feel like my time getting close. Not an actor but playing my role, with my grinding then dipped it in gold. Now watching these visions unfold, in the kitchen been cooking like stove. I went through the prison walls to find my soul, waiting no mail call, leading swole. They got a judge to send me home, got word of my uncle dying on the phone. Been down to my last, scrambling for change, barely surviving off minimum wage. Now seeing the fruits of the moves that I made, 12 blessing the block, had to switch it to play. Some of my homies are doing the same things, yeah. Separated myself, but still in the same place, yeah. Holy Spirit in me might bend, but I can't break, yeah. Taking care of the temple, elementals, the mandate, yeah. But come look at me now, that way the provider was shaping the diamonds, still wondering how. Was riding the fences, still playing the field. Now back in the field with my hand on the plow. Building the cause we all that we got. Investing my dollars in black like it's stacks. From picking they caught in the cream of the crop, how they had that complexion, but one what we got. I can't change who I am, they can like it and not. No more nursery rhymes for these hickory dots. Not defined by they labels, I'm still on the block. Now the Bible inside, I'm just living it out. Only real ones around me, they know what I'm about. Live to the fullest, keep family first. Two girls and I'm raising the son in the works. I'm some black father, I'm breaking that curse. Gotta keep pacing this road, through the ups and then down like a coaster. Feeling my heart turning cold, just know that my past even colder. Promise I'm never gon' fold, got all of this weight on my shoulder. Yahweh say stick to the code, pray, taking the wheel like a chauffeur. Never coming in last, been padding my stats, so working when nobody noticed me. Not chasing they fast, and giving the pass, cause nothing I had no was giving me. Now I'm up and they mad, they throwing their jabs, I'm bobbing like nobody touching me. I'm up and they mad, they throwing their jabs, I'm bobbing like nobody touching me, yeah.
This that savage shit.